What up, my people? My people. It's good to see y'all again, man. As you can see, I got a special guest on today. Y'all might remember her from a couple episodes back. I wanted to bring her back because I thought conversation was pretty good, pretty fun, and wanted to bring her back to probe her mind a little bit more. I know some of y'all was probably had some thoughts. Didn't get as many emails as I wanted to, but I did notice there was a good amount of feedback. So yeah, man, we gonna just jump right in. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Where can we find you? Who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself again.
I am Dricka, but you can call me Dricka, preferably Dricka Nicole, as that is like I don't know what you call it, but
Okay.
that's me.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram at ne.coleworld, so that would be COLE WORLD, and that's also my name on TikTok and on YouTube.
Okay. All right. What kind of content do you post?
So I create content primarily that just it's I create like a storytelling content, especially like on my TikTok. It's literally all content that's based on experiences that I've had, whether it was current experience or like a experience from the past that I've recalled, and I just wanted to
Oh
find a
yeah.
way to kind of express that comical manner.
Okay.
And I also create content where I'm sharing my insight to experiences, to lessons that I've learned over time.
Okay, that's good. So you basically just trying to help people based on what you've been through, kind of things that you've seen and learned and grown from your experiences. You kind of just want to kind of put that out there in the atmosphere for other people to learn from it, to grow from it, like you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like a way, like everything that I do, including the entertainment content that I create,
Hmm.
and with my talking videos, really all of it is just a build up. It's a way to help me overcome a fear of being seen, a fear of being heard. Um, because there's always that little underlying fear that I've always had, and I recently had to like reflect on that because I was like, I'm not really. It's like I'm shy, but I'm not really shy, and I had to reflect on to like, okay, like how did this really come about? And I remember I was in elementary school. I don't remember what it was for, but um, I was with like my guidance counselor, and we were recording. There was something I can't recall exactly what it was. But we were recording something. When she played it back, like I finished talking. I think I was in like fourth grade, maybe.
Yeah.
I finished talking. They finished recording me, and they played it back to me. I was like, "Ooh, I
Yeah.
don't like that sound, or why I sound
Oh.
like that." And so it really created like this deep insecurity in me. I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to be seen."
Oh wow.
The I'm really like the backstage person. Like I like to be backstage doing everything, and I don't know. Ever since I've started creating content, it's been like it's really been helping me overcome that little subconscious fear of mine, especially with me
Yeah.
talking. That's like really the biggest thing for me is people being able to hear me talk, because I don't know, I go when I feel called to do things, and that's like it's like a part of my call. I've been feeling called, like you need to speak, you need to use your voice, you have wisdom, you have knowledge, you have
Yeah.
things that people can really take. And for a long time I was just like, what? Don't nobody want to hear me talk like that.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
nobody care
Right.
about
Right.
nothing I gotta say. But when I've interacted with a lot of people in my life, they've always kind of just let me know. So it was always like little nuggets here and there. People were just like, bro, you may look like a little girl, but like when you open your mouth, like that's a full
Yeah.
grown woman talking.
Right.
And so
Right. Right.
it's just been something I've kind of just had to kind of get in the flow with. Yeah. But I'm really
I get
funny.
that.
I'm really funny. Like I create the content really for myself because I be cracking up laughing at
you
myself.
you go back and look and you laugh. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
I
That's what's
do.
up. Yeah. But you know what though? That's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why I invited you back because from the first conversation, you could kind of tell that you had some type of wisdom, from
Yeah.
life experiences. And my thing is, I want to talk to people who have something to give, have something to share, but not so serious about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I try to keep everything light. And if I feel like somebody can hear you and learn from you, or if I feel like people are really, really resonating with the things that you communicate, I like that. Even if there's a disagreement, but somebody may get something. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's good.
Right.
I think that's good in this age where everybody got a microphone. All you got to do is, set up your own little channel, and you can talk about whatever you want. I be personally, I don't think people deserve channels that have channels. Some of them, you know,
Yeah.
just have a channel just to be, I'm in Starbucks the other day, and this dude was cursing in the morning. F this morning, man. How do you effing guys feel and blah blah blah. And I'm sitting up there thinking like, oh, I wasn't trying to hate on him, but I mean, some people just don't have nothing to say. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you got something to say, you got a good message, and you think you can kind of help people. I think that's a good thing. Do you think other women in your not in your position, but do you think like other women kind of be thinking the same way, like they shy but not shy, like
I think so. It's really, how can I say this? I would say for any woman, any man, but from a woman's standpoint, any woman who suffers with some form of insecurity where um, they either were told that they didn't matter, whatever the case, it's a deep insecurity that one can have. So I feel like anybody
hmm
who has that insecurity within themselves, where they feel like they don't matter, are going to
hmm
kind of struggle with that. Also,
true.
if you are someone, because again, this can go for either woman or man, but if you're also someone who kind of was raised in a home where you were silenced, like there,
Mm,
you didn't have that freedom to really speak up, to express yourself in that manner vocally,
I get
you're
that.
9 out of 10 probably going to struggle with that as an adult, being able to speak up for yourself, whether that is speaking up on a platform, whether that's speaking up at work, sharing. Just if you're a supervisor, whoever asks you like, oh, what do you think, you'd be like, I don't know, I don't want to, I'm good, I don't have anything to say. But you really
Yeah,
do have things to say. It's
right.
really come from that deep insecurity of like feeling like you don't matter, your thoughts, your opinions just don't matter. And it really just comes from being shunned, being silenced in a way, your voice being suppressed,
I get that.
oppressed, however however you want to look at it.
Suppressed, oppressed, yeah, depressed. I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. Me, I'm really, I'm big on this, especially for my male listeners. I'm always trying to get the female perspective because we need the female perspective. Like
Yeah.
I can go along with the red pill community. Oh, women ain't this, and men, you deserve this, and some of the stuff I do agree with, some I disagree. But the point for me saying that is, when you say things like that, and when you express that, I just consider how many other women be dealing with that or have these deep seated insecurities, you know, dealing with the guys that they are in relationship with, or have
Yeah.
difficulties finding a guy. And how do you communicate that to a man without him? Because look, I'm gonna be honest, this is just me. I'm all about helping, and I was watching the conversation about this earlier, but I'm all about helping and being everything what I need to be to my woman. But I do think that there are some things that a woman needs to be healed from and healed of before she gets to me talking about let's date. You get what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on
Mhm.
what are your thoughts on that?
No, I would say I agree. um I can kind of recall back to our last episode where um
Oh yeah, hey guys, if you haven't checked that out, go check that out.
yeah, if you haven't checked that out, don't be watching this. You don't, if you watching this, stop watching this and go watch
Go
that
look
one
at the first
first.
one. Okay.
Go look at the first one first.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Um, dang, what? Dang, I lost my train of thought. It
Oh,
was
that's my
something.
bad.
It was something in regards to the last episode, and I mentioned something that's relevant to this. I'm gonna scratch it, and if it comes back, then it'll come back.
Okay.
Um, but no, I would say I agree with that because, for one, something to be mindful of, because it's something that I've had to learn to accept and be mindful of myself. It's like, okay, you can be healed, but keep in mind that, oh yeah, I think I mentioned this in the last
You
episode.
did. You
Keep,
definitely
keep
did.
in mind that healing is not a, like, one and done type of thing. Like, it's going to be something you're going to continuously be healing
Hmm.
from.
Hmm. Hmm.
But in the context where we're saying you have to be healed, that just insinuates that the healing, the work that needs to be healed, it has to have been acknowledged, and it has to have been, uh mm, how can I put that? It has to be acknowledged. Let's just leave it at that. It has to be acknowledged. It has to
Okay.
be acknowledged. And from being acknowledged, you then have to take that acknowledgement and be like, okay, what do I need to do in order to get to be better about this XYZ, whatever that may be. And so yeah, it's like a lot of us we feel like, because it's something I'm this is something I'm, I observe people, and I don't be trying to be a
Right.
creep about it or anything like that, but like,
All right.
especially especially
Wait,
being
wait.
single.
You be having the binoculars, watching people the way they.
No. No, you'll be surprised. Like, literally, I'm gonna share this with you. I was literally in McDonald's the other day, and just minding my business, waiting for my order. And
Right.
they were young. They were obviously younger than me, but they were still within my age range. Like, they had to have been like maybe 22, 23, I would say.
Okay.
Um, and I was just like mind my business, but I was like picking up on what was
Peeping.
going on.
Yeah.
And clearly the guy was trying to do things to get the girl's attention. The girl clearly wasn't like, she
Oh.
wasn't she wasn't minding him. And mind you, she was working at McDonald's too, but he kept like
Right.
doing things to try and get her attention.
Like
And
stuff like
so
what? Stuff like what? Stuff like what?
so I heard him talking with his guy friends. It was three of them, and he was just like, "Bro, I don't even know if she likes me." And they had already placed their order. That's the thing; they had already placed their order, so they were just
Right.
like me waiting for their order. And they went back to the register where she, of course, was doing working the register, and he just started like having like random converse. It was weird, but it really gave like high school, middle school stuff that we used to do. But he was just like
Oh.
trying to have random conversations with her and like ask her just random stupid question that was not relevant to anything. It was like wasting her time. Like, this girl is working. And so she walked off and rolled her eyes. And he was like, "Yeah, bro, I don't know." And I looked at him and I said, "She thinks you're an asshole."
Oh.
And
Okay.
he
Okay.
and he looked and he was like, "What?" I was like, "You're an asshole, bro. Like, she thinks you're an asshole." And this man went on a full blown, I mean, telling me all the business. I'm like, hold on. From the information he gave me, I was able to pinpoint. I was like, you have an insecurity
Mhm.
within
Mhm.
yourself. You don't need to be worried about trying to talk to no girl. I'm not even going to tell you the business that he gave me, but I was just like, you don't need to be, and that's why I said to him, I was like, you sure you need to be focusing on a girl right now? And his
Yeah.
friends, like, oh, bro,
Ooh.
she's on to you.
Yeah.
She's on to you, bro. And I was like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, you really think you need to be focusing on a girl right now? And I just say that all to say is like, again, there are certain things that we are not aware of within ourselves that need to be worked on.
Yeah.
And we just think that, I don't know, I guess we think like getting with the next person is going to help
It's gonna
clear
heal
things
it. Right.
up,
Right. It's gonna
and
fix
it
it.
and it
It don't.
doesn't.
It really just exposes it.
It really exposes you more than anything. And if that other person that you're with also isn't like aware, they're not going to, it's just going to be a mess. It's
Yeah.
really just going to be a mess. And so yeah, you really have to, but it's not, I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it. I will say that, because remember
Yeah.
what I mentioned in the last episode, I told him like I had to pull back. I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, I keep attracting the
Yeah.
same dude in a different body in a
Right.
way.
So at that point, it's
It's
not them, it's you.
Yeah, it's like it's not given. But also I'm very critical of myself. Like, I'm very hard on myself. And so I've also had to tell myself like, okay, there are times where Dricka is really not you. And I had to kind of come into that conclusion. It's like, again, wasps to a flame, you're gonna attract anything. You're going to attract good, you're going to attract bad, but it's really about who you choose to give your energy to, who you choose to entertain.
That's
Who
right.
you choose to entertain is going to reflect, okay, how have you done with your healing? Have you done what you needed to necessarily do? Because that person that you're interacting with, you're engaging with, whoever, that person's going to mirror it right back to you.
Okay, so check this out. So this what came to my mind when you said that. So like I be trying to counsel my fellas that are watching. I be trying to counsel my fellas, man, shoot your shot. It's not all about the internet. I mean, if you're not in her vicinity and you see her, okay, you got to DM her, but get in the habit of shooting your shot. But with that said, though, you know, how many other women, are like, I don't know, I guess like pull back from from the whole dating scene and like that whole situation. You could see, okay, the guy he was probably a little bit too immature in his approach.
Mm-hmm.
But how many women are like pulled back and reserved when the guy shoots his shot and he's like, okay, he's cute, he seems interesting, but I'm like, I'm pulled back. How many other women think like that and like process like that? I be telling dudes, if she tell you no, it don't have nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with her. So don't take it personal. But my point for saying that is like, when are the I don't know. I guess the question I'm asking is like, when are the women gonna start saying yes? My guys out here getting the nose. Like, what would you say to that? What would be your response? Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, honestly, I just think that for one, I think it's quite a bit of us out there that's just like, nah,
Exactly.
I'm
But why
good.
though? But why though?
But
It's disappointment.
it is it is, and I also feel like to a lot of guys it's discouraging too. But the reason why I feel like a lot of us women are like this today is because, again, a lot of us are coming into awareness of a lot. Like, if we go back to 2020, I had made a TikTok on this where I was introducing, I was like formally introducing my higher self. And my higher self had mentioned this, like,
All
oh,
right, higher self.
a lot of people, a lot of people, a lot of people are coming into um, their spirituality because back in 2020, like if you really think about the times and if you think about the years and the numbers, I'm not trying to get too deep into the whole number. I'm a big
Okay.
numerology
I got
person.
some
Like,
questions for that, by the way, but just go
numbers
ahead.
hold meanings and stuff like that. I've been studying a lot on that. But
Okay.
it's just that we're in the year 2025. 2020 was like a big year where the veil was starting to be lifted from a lot of people's eyes. And so I just think that a lot of women are just coming into awareness like, okay, and don't get me wrong, we talk shit too. We be like, the quality of men is trash because honestly, if you do realize it, it's just like interacting with some of the dudes, like like I'm reflect back on some of the dudes that I've even interacted with, and I was just like,
Yeah, see,
is
okay,
this?
so look, my show is for men, right?
Yes,
And then you
yes, and
say
it's
that,
no disrespect. It's
right? So
no disrespect.
I'm gonna ask the question, how, like, when you say that, and I don't know how to say. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did want to put my question there. Like, when you say that, what do
Yeah.
you mean when you say that? What are dudes getting so wrong? Like, what are we getting wrong? Now, I'm not gonna say we, but I'm gonna say, what are men getting so wrong? Like, what's happening? Like,
Honestly, there's just something. I mean, of course, I don't like have all the answers. I'm really just going off based off observation. I
okay,
don't know, but something there's like a there's been like a major dynamic shift between, I even hate to say genders because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it.
I'm a
I
I'm a
already know.
I'm a female with masculinity too, but I'm just saying like I don't know. There's been a big shift in men, and maybe this is something that has always existed, but again, we're just in different times where a lot of stuff is just being brought to people's awareness. Like people are really like just coming into, they're reaching different levels of consciousness. It's like, hold on, like that don't seem right. Like something's a little bit off. So I don't know. It's just, and this is not for all men. This is not for all men. So don't,
Okay,
please, please,
just
please.
ask it.
It's just okay. I think one of the things that has a very big impact on this, because I, like I said, I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. But whatever this shift is, where some women may say the men just ain't men enough no more these days. Like the men want to be the princess. The men wants to be the soft. They
Mm.
want to be in their soft girl.
Okay,
The men
okay,
want the
okay.
men want to be pampered. The men want to be chased. Again, this could have been something that's existed centuries ago, but I don't know. Like for whatever reason, this 21st, I don't know. Whatever this time period is, it's just something that just seems so massive that I think that explains why a lot of women are pulling back.
Mm.
Not just in regards to a lot of women are just becoming aware of themselves and the things that they need to work on with themselves. But again, it's just like there's just something with the male dynamic that I think a lot of women are just trying to understand. Because again, it is some men that are in a way given the quality of men a bad rep, because a lot of men are just thriving in feminine energy and wanting to switch roles, like wanting to be like a feminine but wanting to be identified as a man. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
but you just
weird.
yeah, but I get what you're saying. 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 I would say like give us an example. I'm trying to get some brothers out here like I'm trying to step their games up. You know what I'm saying. I'm my G's that's watching. I'm trying to put my boys on game. You know what I'm saying. Like what is that thing? So I've heard that before, but
Yeah.
you are you seem to be beyond the veil thinker. I'm gonna put it like that.
I'm
Beyond the
I
veil.
mean, I'm trying the best I can to articulate it, but so I'll give you an example. A good example would be, oh, this is a good example. So I was listening to this one guy, and he was saying how his homeboy called him. His homeboy is in a whole relationship. His
Right.
homeboy called him, and just like how us girls be doing with our girlfriends, we be
Yep.
telling our business about what's going on. His homeboy was doing that. His homeboy was like, man, I'm agitated right now with this relationship and everything. And his homeboy was like, well, what's going on? Like, what you mean? I thought y'all was happy. I thought y'all was good. And he was saying pretty much his homeboy went on to complain about his girlfriend, but he was complaining in a way that gave like he was envious of her. So his homeboy had to stop him. His homeboy was like, hold on, you mad, you with a baddie, like you're with a baddie, and you're mad because she gets attention. There's other dudes that look at her.
Mm,
And
mm,
the dude,
mm,
his
mm,
friend
mm.
flat out said, shoot, I ain't trying to say I want to be a girl, but shoot, I want to have some attention. I want people looking at me too. I want this. So his friend was like, bro, you're really, you you sound jealous. Like you sound like you want to be a female. And
Mm.
that's not the first time that I've ever experienced something like that. Then again, I don't know. For me, I think I may be used to being with certain guys who's intimidated by me for whatever reason. I don't really know, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you took it somewhere. I wasn't expecting to go there, but hey, let's rock and roll. So look, when you say that, so now check this out. I'm big on this. Women in my opinion. Now, if you disagree, please disagree. Uh, but in my opinion, I feel like modern day women. So like you say, the modern day men, right? I feel like I don't like saying feel. I think that modern day women have these trigger words that they say, but then when you ask to explain what you mean when you say that, they can't give
Mhm.
you the definition of it. They say it as a trigger word because when they say it, the women that are listening is going to trigger certain things, and then the men that are listening is going to trigger certain things. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
when I say, "What do you mean when you say that?" they can't give me the definition. But when I say that, I mean to respond to as far as him. Now, I think what you just described was a dude that wants attention, right? But the issue that I want to address in that is women that have attention seeking behavior. Because for
Mm.
me, I don't have arrogance, I don't have ego, I do have confidence. But at the same time, if I feel like my woman or the person that I'm dating has attention seeking behavior, I don't want the attention. I don't want it. But why are you doing things to get attention? You get what I'm saying? So like then for me to speak on that, a woman would say, "Oh, you just being insecure. Oh, you just being whatever." They just throw these words out there. And so
Yeah.
for me, the word insecure, some let me say it this way. Sometimes a woman will use that word, he's being insecure, when he's calling out that she's doing something that's disloyal. You get what I'm saying? Um, what do you think about that? Because that's one of these topics that it's like a gray area when it comes to women. And I mean, I'm a guy. I'm just trying to understand.
I think that I think with that, it really just comes down to understanding what that word really means, and when a person is insecure, what exactly that looks like. If a guy is bringing something to your attention that he is not in favor of, that's not entirely always insecurity.
Mhm.
It really just varies. And like some I feel like some girls, we say these things because, the first thing we go to say to guys, like, oh, you're being insecure.
Right,
Well, we only saying that out of defense, because whatever that
right.
person is saying to you or to us, we clearly don't agree with it. So rather than trying to understand where that person is coming from or just like hear them out, the first thing we do is defend ourselves. Like, oh, you're being insecure.
Hmm.
You're being insecure because I'm this, because I'm that. And you really just have to it really just comes down to you really knowing and understanding what that word really means and what it looks like when a person is truly insecure. But if a person just acknowledging, just bringing something to your attention that they're just not in favor of, that's not always ideally insecure.
I want to agree. I say I agree with you on that. I do. I agree with you 100%. I do. I agree with you. I agree with you
But I do
100%.
be seeing, I do see some stuff like when I'm on social media, and I just be, oh, let me go to the comments and see what's going on in here. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
look at y'all. I don't know. I don't like doing that whole women versus men bash. I really don't like engaging in stuff like that, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, regardless of the times that we're in, even though yes, we've seen massive changes in modern women and modern men,
That's right.
it's like at the end of the day, we both genders need each other
That, I,
regardless.
yeah, I agree with that. I like that.
I don't I don't know. Just for me personally, I don't understand the whole women and men beef. It's just like, dang, if a man hurt you, just say that. If a woman hurt you, just say that. But don't group all of us collectively and be like, oh, y'all women this. No,
Right.
no.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I would shut a guy down. I've had guys like, why y'all women? Uh, I can't speak for all women. I can't fix what women did to you, but
Right. 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 Right.
let's
I'm
not
not
put
like that.
all women together. Let's not put all men together. And the reason why I'm that way, because I don't do that. Like if I'm dealing with a guy, I'm like,
Okay.
why y'all dudes? I don't do that, because every person is their own person. Not everybody is the same. I even had to break out of that whole mindset, like, oh, once a cheater, always a cheater. Like, I don't think a man's gonna always be a cheater, but some men, don't get me wrong, some men just don't change. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's right. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
The
But I
whole
get what you're trying to
women,
say though.
yeah, the whole battle between women versus men, it's just a little. You honestly, you really, you know what I think? What it really
What?
is
Go ahead
power.
and share it. It's
Is
I want to
is
agree with you on that.
power.
I
And
agree with you on that.
the reason why I say that now is because, like, don't get me wrong, I've watched videos where the men were speaking on women, and I've seen videos where the women were speaking on men. And I really be trying to stay a neutral person. I'm not with, oh, I'm with this side, or I'm with that side. I really be
Right,
trying.
right, right, right,
I see both perspectives. Like, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see that too.
right.
Um, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to power. And with the modern day women, which this isn't something that's new. Women, especially brown and black women, we've
Mhm.
always been identified as like strong women.
Right, that's true.
And I've even seen conversations where there was saying like how, oh, this is why the black men don't like black women. This is why the brothers keep going with the white women, because the
Mhm.
white women don't do this. White women don't act like this.
Mhm. I've seen that a
And
lot.
so now we're in this time where it does appear like women are taking more of a leadership role. You're seeing women taking leadership roles in male dominated companies. You're just seeing this massive change where women do seem to be rising when it comes to the aspect of leadership. But I think this is the thing, and this is my perspective. This is just my perspective. We come from a world. America in itself is a nation that was built mostly by the men. Women were told, this is what you do. You belong in the kitchen, you belong in the house, you this, you that. No, I'm being for real.
I got you.
I was reflecting on this just a couple of days ago, because I saw a video where Michelle Obama, she was saying, the world ain't ready for a female president. The world ain't ready for that.
Mm,
And
mm.
if you think about it, it comes down to power. It comes down to power. Just look at bro. Oh, I feel like I'm taking over your podcast. I'm so sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead, cause look, 'cause I got some questions when you say stuff. I got questions.
You got
Just
question.
go.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I was doing. I was
Okay.
right. I was right now.
But if you think about it, it all just comes down to power. Like, okay, for instance, Barack Obama being the first African American president.
That's
Barack
right.
Obama,
That's right.
even though the downside to some people, even though the downside to Barack Obama was the fact that he was indeed a black man, Barack Obama still got a pass. Why? Because he was a man. And look at the history of the presidents. They've always been a man.
Man. Okay.
So now you have a woman that was coming into office. Not just one, we had two. We had two. We had Hillary, and then we had Kamala. Well, you have a woman coming into a predominantly
Come on
male
now.
position.
Okay.
The world is looking at this. It's just like, no, this messes up the system. The president has always been a man. A woman a woman being in a male position, in a big powerful position, is that just don't work. That's not how the American system was built. That's just
Mm.
not how this works. And so it really just all comes down to power. No offense to the men that do watch
No offense to the men
Market
that do
Stewart
watch.
podcast, but I'm just saying there are some men who aren't willing to accept a woman being in leadership. And it's not even to be over, it's not even to be to have this power over dynamic of a man, even though you do have some women that do that in
Right.
relationship.
Right.
You
Right.
do
Right.
have some women. I'm not trying to exclude nobody out of it, because I don't put nothing past nobody. You do have women that operate like that. But again, it's still the fact that because a lot of the way that the world is operating America as a nation, a lot of dynamics and relationships, a lot of it does come from a more patriarchal standpoint. So some men just cannot, their ego, they can't deal with a woman being in a leadership position.
Okay,
Because if
let
you
me
think
say this.
about it,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
if
Finish your
you
statement.
think about it, both men and women are meant to rule together. It's not supposed to it's not supposed to be a power over. It's supposed to be a power with type of dynamic, not so much power over, but it comes down to power.
Yeah. So here's what I would say in response to the whole president thing. With the whole president thing, I think now, I'm not into politics, but I think that everybody um, saw what's Bill Clinton's wife name? Hillary.
Hillary,
I think everybody saw her as weak because of what happened while Bill was in the White House. With the whole Kamala thing, that I think it probably did have something to do with her being a woman, but at the same time, I think that had also had something to do with um the way for those of you who are in politics, right? Don't kill me, but the way she handles some certain things, being vice president, you know, men are logical thinkers. Men can go step one, step two, step three, step four. You know, we want to see the plan, the outline, the guy, and
right?
not that Trump was just so much better, but Trump, what they knew about Trump was that if he said he's going to do it. Now, would Hillary have done the same thing? Maybe, but she was viewed as weak
Yeah,
for that. And then with the whole Kamala, I was supporting her because she was black. But I mean, if you look at the facts, so my feelings wanted to support her, but when you look at the facts, I mean, you know, everybody that's going to say to me, Marcus is this or that, I encourage you to go look at policy, look at look at the things that she did, and see the politics, see the polls, because I was thinking the same thing too. But in response to that, I would say, I think some men or most men or my brothers, if you watching this, my brothers, there are things that women are just naturally good at, and you have to let them take the lead. The issue becomes when a woman tries to like manipulate the lead. That's when it becomes a problem. Or when she like takes advantage of weakness to get the lead, in my
yeah,
opinion. But as long as for real, as long as we both know where we stand and what how things go, I don't see no problem with if you're better at this, then babe, you need to okay, what you need me to do? I'm here to support. But then at
yeah,
the same time, as a woman, you need to know that there are certain decisions that I'm gonna make logically, not with feelings, but with facts. And feelings are not gonna factor in. I'm gonna make the best decision for the moment. And the woman needs to know that and understand that. But then at the same time, the man needs to understand that the woman is good at certain things that he is not good at. And so those are
hmm,
things that she needs to really take the lead, and you need to be a support. I mean, I don't know. I will say this. I don't think, me personally, I don't think that men should be against women. I don't want that. That's not what my podcast is about either. I do these kind of podcasts because I want to get the woman's perspective so that we as
mm.
men can understand, so that we can work together. Me personally, I'm an advocate for marriage. What do you think about that? These days people don't get married no more. People don't want to they don't want to tie the knot. Did I ask you this on the first episode? Yeah, people don't want to get married. I think you should get. I think people should get married. But look, if y'all want to know the answer to that
Why do you
question,
think people should get married?
why? Okay, me personally, that I think that men need to understand what commitment is, and so do women. I think people should get married for the commitment's sake. The legal binding things. Now, here's what I would change with that. I would not let a woman be able to divorce a man on the strength of something stupid. Abuse, yes. Cheating, yes. You know, outside of those two, you can't just divorce this man and take half of his money or whatever. I wouldn't let that happen. Now, if a dude cheat on you, that's different. If a dude is abusing you and beating you, that's different. But to just decide to wake up and just cheat or leave or whatever the case is, and you get half of everything, no, that's just not fair. I think you should get married because of the commitment. You should commit to the other person, like that. The commitment is there. I don't agree with the way the system handles divorce, which is why there's so much divorce. But I think people should get married for the commitment's sake. Yeah. Why do you think, or don't you think, that people should get married?
Honestly, I don't really have a say so on whether people should or shouldn't get married. I just honestly I think like whatever is best for you, whatever you
Would you get married? Would you get married?
would I get married?
Would you get married?
I would get married, but like I stated on the last episode, I don't really care to.
You don't
Like
really.
it's
Why not? Why not though? Why?
because it's just like I said in the last episode, it's just not it's the legal it's the legal it's the legalities side of it. Like
That's
I'm not much of a fan of yeah, I'm not a fan of that aspect of marriage. Like I'm real big about the commitment, real big about that. Bringing two people together, that could be a very powerful thing. Like
that's
especially when
right.
you both got your heads on right and
We locked in. Like
you
this is
locked in.
us.
Like
Yeah,
it's a very powerful thing. But the legal side of it, I really just don't care for it. And then again, like the whole divorce process, that's just that in itself is it seems like a headache altogether. It's like if I want to leave this person, I want to be able to walk away from this person and not have to worry
yeah,
about it at all. Y'all going through divorces that last a year, 2 years. I don't want to have to deal with it.
yeah.
I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to deal with that.
I
But I'm
feel
not.
you.
I'm not saying like it's not. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I've had that fairy tale, like, oh my gosh, I want to be married, I want to have this, I want to have that. But as I've gone through life, I'm just like, honestly, you know, it ain't, it ain't, it
You
ain't
don't want to.
something.
You don't want to have kids. You don't want to.
I want to have those things,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Okay. Okay.
it's a deep heart's desire. But I'm just saying, like, I've gotten to a point in my life where I've accepted not having those things.
Mm,
And I was having this conversation with my best friend and because we was talking about marriage. The guy that she's talking to wants to marry her and she wanted my insight on it. And I was just like, I just want you
yeah.
to do.
No, did you tell her not to marry her? Don't be
No,
telling her not.
I didn't tell her.
Okay.
I didn't tell her not to marry. I just told her I was like, I support you, but I just want to make sure like you making the right decision for yourself. Like, don't feel like you have to marry this person because you feel pressured to do so.
That's right.
Make sure you're making this decision because you truly feel like this is something that you want to do. Um, but yeah, I was telling her I was like, it's just like the concept of like okay, let's say for instance a person is going to keep dating. They're going to keep moving on to the next person because they don't want to be alone, right? You have some people that's like that. They just don't want to be alone.
That's right. Right.
Well,
Right. Right.
when God put you in a position like I need you to be by yourself, like I need you to be single, I need you to focus on yourself, that's something you have to accept. You have to accept learning how to be by yourself. And so it's
That's
kind of the
right.
same, thing. It's just like you can desire these things, you can desire marriage, you can desire a family, but it's like, but you also have to kind of be okay if you don't have those things. And the reason why I'm saying that's because sometimes we strive so much to get
Yeah. To
certain
get them.
things
Yeah. That's right.
that we don't stop to appreciate certain things in life. And so it's just like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to really articulate this. It's just really one of those things that's just like, you know what? Like I legit had a personal conversation, just me and God. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay not having those things.
But no, you know what? I think you know what, and this is the thing. I think a lot of women come to that same conclusion, but it's not necessarily that they're okay with it. You're just saying, in my opinion, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think you're saying I that you are. you're okay with managing being single as opposed to pursuing trying to find what has constantly disappointed you. I mean, most women that say that they have been disappointed multiple times, and then my response to that is going to be, well, what are your expectations? What are you expecting from a man? What are you thinking that a man is going to provide for you that you haven't got up until this point? You know, and I think that's for me, that's the bottom line. You're not saying you're okay with being single because you're really okay with being single. You saying I prefer to deal with me being single because I don't want to deal with being disappointed, lied to, cheated on, blah blah blah. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
That now that's actually inaccurate. Now I
Okay,
will say at one point in my life during my singlehood, I did have that perspective. Like, you know what? I rather and I feel like that's some way with some women as well.
okay,
You may have, because that's the thing, like we're some of us are really good at disguising certain things to be one thing when it's really not.
right,
Like you can have women that sit here and be like, oh, just like you asked me, are you single and satisfied? No, I was legit in my answer. No, I am
yeah,
single and satisfied. Like
that's right,
I'm not just choosing to be single because like no, I don't want to deal with nobody. I'd rather be by myself than have to deal with. No, it's not that. At one point in my time, yes, it was like that. I,
yeah,
I'm seeing everybody up in their relationships. Aha!
yeah,
Not me. Can't relate to that.
okay,
Sorry. But over time, it's just like I genuinely do enjoy being by myself because there's so much more to life than just being in a relationship. And I
that's
understand,
true.
and I've grown in understanding that being single is a purposeful way. I made a video in regards to this. I wasn't speaking, but it was a video I created. But
Got you.
being single is a purposeful way of living because at the end of the day, again, there's so much more to life than just striving to be in a relationship and striving to have those things that you want, that marriage, that family. Like there are really deep, serious things. Like for me, my career and the trajectory of me aligning myself to my purpose, that's like my big focus right now. And
Yeah,
at this moment, it's like no, I don't have any bitterness towards being in a relationship with a guy, but it's just like at this point, it's like I'm just so laser focused that either you're gonna come in my life and you're going to add, because if you're gonna come over here to subtract, you have to go. Like I'm so focused, and the last thing I need is somebody to come in my life and try and distract me, get me off my focus, because some dudes will do that. Some, and girls too.
true.
Don't get me wrong, girls do the same thing with dudes. Like dudes
It's
be on their
very true.
stuff, dudes be on their stuff and girls become, and this is why I'm speaking in this manner, because I've really had guys tell me stories about things that girls do. Like some, like when I was a little bit younger, I used to be so oblivious to like some of the stuff that guys would say
Female,
that girls would do.
yeah,
And I was
females they
like, there's
dirty out here.
no
Like
way.
they,
I'm like, there's
yes,
no way. But when I hear some of the stories that they tell me about some of the things that girls do, I'm like, y'all making us look so damn bad. Like, this is
yeah,
ridiculous that some of y'all out here really acting like this. Like,
that's
it's
true.
a real thing. But no, it's I that's inaccurate because
Okay,
I'm
inaccurate.
very much so in what you call it? It's heaven over here. Okay,
Okay,
let's just
I
say
like.
that it's heaven over here. But I'm seeing the bigger picture, and I
Yeah.
understand that I was just having this conversation with myself the other day that if I say that I want to be with somebody, then that means that I need to be the best version of myself that I need to be, so that way that person will come and mirror that back to me. Because
Okay. Yeah. So I got two things for that. The first one is I know exactly what you mean. For me, I had that same little period, and then you're gonna hit your goals. You're gonna hit them, and then you want to share winning with somebody. That's where it came to for me. I wanted to share winning with someone, and it's not that I shut everybody out. It was just like the same thing. I'm not gonna let you come over here and just distract me with you got all these stupid habits and you don't know how to save and you don't know how to budget, you don't know how to
yeah,
control yourself. and you just doing willy nilly everything, and you cool, right? We have fun, but you cool on the nights that I want to chill. But when it comes to building something, we can't build nothing because you're not disciplined enough, you know. So I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But then with the flip side, like when I started winning, I'm like, now I can like do things that I enjoy, and I would do them. But then I want to do them with somebody, and then it sent me back to okay. Now I'm trying to find somebody, or I want to find someone. You know,
Yeah.
um, the second thing to that is oh, I lost my train of thought for that second one, but that was the first one. I think I want to say for the second one, I forgot what I was about to say, but it was a good one. It was a good one. Maybe it'll come back to me, but I don't know. I think this, how do you know that was the second one? How do you know then that you are ready if you're waiting for yourself to be I don't want to say perfect, but I know that there were some things about me that I need to clean up, fix, heal from. Just at this certain level, now I'm ready to start dating. And that was just for me. But how do you know when should a person start dating is the question. You
You
know.
know, that's actually a pretty tricky question. Anytime somebody asks me, like, oh, when do you know you're ready? I always give this response back, like, honestly, you don't really know
Yeah.
when you're ready until it happens, kind
Okay.
of thing. Um, but I don't know to answer that question per se. I think it would just come with a level of okay, let's just say for instance, you're a person who has goals. You have a list of goals that you're trying to hit, and let's just
That's right.
say you're looking back over your list and you're checking off like, oh, did that, and then not only
Right.
that, but you have like this, you have this satisfaction to yourself, like, wow, like,
Yes.
okay, I achieved all of my goals, like I'm where I want to be in life. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you'll then probably start to feel like, well, I don't did all this work, I don't hit all my goals. hmm what now? Maybe now I am in this space where I can start investing in another person and mingling with other people. Maybe so. I would say that's probably when you're ready.
Okay.
But then again, I'm the kind of person like divine timing, divine
Okay.
timing,
And how do you know when the
because
divine? How do you know when the time is divine?
how you know when the time is divine. I me well, see, I can only speak from a personal perspective.
That's
For
right.
me,
That's what I'm asking.
for me, I try not to get too caught up in time, even though, because I have this real deep belief, like, okay, time is an illusion. Like, there's different planes. No, seriously, there's different things playing out all at the same time on
That's
different
right.
realms.
I,
And
I I agree
so,
with you on that.
but because my physical body, because I'm here physical in this 3D plane where time is like a big construct, it's just like, okay, so let's just say if when the universe brings somebody into my life, and I don't know, I've become literally like this. I immediately start thinking, okay, let me not, I mean, I don't play with people, period, but
You're right.
I'm like, this is a test. God trying to see if I'm ready. God trying to see if I'm ready for something. So I'll go into it like very, very consciously in a way.
Consciously and
Um,
cautiously.
but then
Yeah.
but then I try not to be too hyper. That's the thing. I get so hyper focused and stuff, but that's just because the level of awareness that I've reached. And sometimes it overwhelms me. Sometimes it really, really overwhelms me. Like a person comes to, I instantly like, okay, this person here to teach me something. What
Yeah.
what they here to teach me? And it just becomes a little too much for me. And I just like, okay, you just need to chill. Like just go with, just ride the wave, bro. Just chill out. And
Yeah.
so that's what I do. And because I've gained this level of awareness to myself, it's just like I can see, pinpoint certain things, like, oh, okay. Like, say for that person says something. That person says something to me, and I get a little triggered by. I'm like, okay, Dricka,
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
it's just like when I'm saying like divine timing, it's just like it's going to happen because I have that I live by this. I live by this. Uh, uh, if it's meant to be, it will be.
Mm.
If it's meant to be, it will be. So, and that's just something that I've just kind of created as a mantra for myself to not force anything, not try
Yeah.
to force any connection, try to force any friend, whatever it may be. If it's meant to be, it will be. If that person pull back or if whatever happens, like okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've had to learn to surrender. Like one of the things I used to struggle with is losing. Like if I lose somebody or
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
lose a
Yeah.
job, I break down. It's the end of the world. I'm like, bro, I don't like what I don't know what happened. I tried my best. I did, but it's just gotten to a point where it's just like,
Yeah. You good? Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. I get that.
okay.
I
So it's
get
just
that.
it's all you can see it as like, oh, when you're ready, but a lot of times you won't really know when you're ready until it's there in your face, and it's just like it now you got to show up, and in that moment, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a romantic connection, it doesn't matter if it's it really don't matter. It's just like God gonna put people in your life and be like, let's see.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I get what you're
Let's
saying.
see how you're gonna do, because it's really a test on both ends. It's a test on your end to see how you're going to respond, how you're going to react, how you're going to engage with that person, place, or thing, or whatever. And then also on that other person's end, how you going to treat that person, because
Yeah.
you don't know that person's spiritual rankings. You don't know. You just don't know. So how are you going to treat that person in regards to this connection?
That's good.
So
That's a lot of
that's
that.
that's the
That
way I look at it.
that is a lot of thought. And I think, let me say this, my brothers that are watching this, I think that that is valid. I think that you should definitely be that considerate with the people that you meet, and that's why you should just resolve to just be a good person to whoever that you meet.
To whoever, it really
Yeah,
don't matter. It
but
really don't matter.
in response to that, I would say, I understand where you're coming from with that mindset. I think a lot. I think a lot. No, I don't want to say a lot. I think, well, I am gonna say it. I think a lot of women overthink. I think a lot of women are overthinkers, and I can say the same thing for men too. Like, we overthink when things like, okay, it's like, I think I understand. I'm gonna try to articulate it. It's like men overthink when we have emotions about a thing.
Yeah.
Women overthink. It's like that's how they process their emotions. You get what I'm saying? So we having the same thing going on, but it's in response to two different things that stimulate that reaction. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that's what I think. I think when you say that, I can understand what you're saying. You know, when you're saying, "Well, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that," then you gotta say to yourself, like, let's just breathe.
Yeah.
This is just regular. You
And I've
thinking
gotten
like,
really good at it too. Like I really have.
yeah, that's good. That's good. So what would you say to a woman that does overthink? Because here's what I encounter. I deal with a lot of women who are, I'm gonna use this spiritual, right? And I'm not trying to placate to the guys that watch, but I have dealt with situations where a girl, she thinks that it's God talking to her, but it's really her own fears and insecurities. And I think I couldn't say to her like, "Ooh, that's not God. Like, that is not my job. That's not like something else is talking to your mind, and you not picking it up, but you think that it's him." So what would you say to, women like that? Like, I had major plans for this relationship. I had planned to do XYZ, and that's how I know that whatever she was getting her information from, she thought it was him, and she was in the church, and she was like supposedly spiritual. She was all of this and all that, but she was wrong. Like, and I was like, bro, you making a mistake, boo. Like, but she thought that it was him. She thought that this was God's sign. And so, the question that I'm gonna ask is how do you know? How do you know that this is, I call it my Jah because that's what I believe. I believe this my Jah is in the sky. I mean, he's not in the sky, but you know, the way that the Bible describes him, the God who created this what we are in. How do you know? How do you know that it's not your emotions or your fears or your insecurities or your feelings that's talking to you? And how do you know that it's that the other thing? If you know,
So it's actually interesting you asked that because that's also something that I've been working with myself with a lot of knowing and being able to pinpoint whether it's fear, anxieties, whatever it is versus like intuition because spirit's going to communicate directly to your intuition.
that's right.
So with that, it really comes down to it really comes down to if you've done the work on yourself because something
Oh, you know what? I like that. Okay, okay, okay.
something something that I have been recently working with within myself is noticing noticing when I overthink and why I overthink certain things.
Uh, I like that.
Why
Women need to be doing it.
when I start to overthink, and I'm gonna try and narrow this down. I'm gonna narrow it down specific to like a connection, like coming into connection with a guy.
Right.
I start to overthink things with a guy, not because things seem too good to be true, even though that is like some aspect to it. It's
Okay.
when it's when they do something that kind of sets that whether they do something or they say something and it sets me off. Like it sets me off where I'm like, and now I can't stop thinking about that.
You're overthinking. Yeah.
So let's say for instance a guy he does or he says something that triggers confusion.
Mm.
I
Okay. Wait, wait,
will
wait. Confusion in your mind or confusion between y'all?
confusion in my mind.
Okay. 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 Got you.
Confusion between us or confusion in my mind. Regardless, it's the spirit of confusion that came to
I
surface.
got you. Okay. Okay. I got you. I got you.
That will cause me to overthink, and the reason why that causes me to overthink because something that I've had to realize when it comes to me being in connections with guys is because I would have like this, or I used to I would have like this thing like this could potentially be the one. So I'll
You,
kind of like be in delude. No, seriously,
no,
seriously.
that's good. That's
I'm
good. That's good.
I'm putting myself
Men
on the
be
spot here.
no men be thinking like that too, for real though. But go ahead.
Yeah. So you kind of go like in this delulu. It's like, okay, I'm feeling this person. I'm really feeling them. But when the spirit of confusion comes about, then I start to overthink it. And the reason why I start to overthink is because it's like in a way I'm trying to convince myself that it's not what I think it is. Like it's not. This person just caused me to be confused. So now in my mind I'm overthinking because I'm trying to make sense of
Mhm.
what was just what that confusion was just about. So in a way, we overthink because we don't really want to believe what that person just did or what that person just said. That's one way of leading off to overthinking. So it's like in a way you're trying to convince yourself that it's not what it is, but it really is.
Okay.
But then there's the aspect where let's say that person is a good guy. Okay, it's a good guy. And if he did cause some confusion or he did trigger some form of confusion in you, there could be times where those fears, those insecurities, whatever work that you didn't really do on yourself would cause you to start to overthink because the only thing it can take you back to is a previous time where you felt a similar feeling in that way, and
Mm,
you start to
mm.
overthink to try to compensate in a
I, I
way for that feeling, so
I get
that
what you're
way
saying.
it can because that could lead to self sabotage. I feel like I'm going off the
No,
dome.
no, 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 no. You on point. You. That's your
Oh,
train of thought, and I got you. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah, because I'll tell you, my mind get to going
yeah.
so fast, and I be trying to
You-
get everything out. But yeah, yeah, you're dealing with a really good guy. You're dealing with a really good guy, but there's something that he may have done, that he may have said, that to you it confused you a little bit, and you will start to overthink based off of previous experience. Though that's fear, that's fear, and that's insecurities coming up to
yeah.
try and get you to try and get you to sabotage that
Yes.
situation
Something
with that
good.
person, exactly,
Yeah.
with that person, but it's a good thing. So it's either way, overthinking is going to kill it regardless, especially if you're not communicating with the person. But yeah.
Here's what I say to that in response to that. I always say this. You know, I definitely say every feeling should have a fact to support it. And if you write that feeling down, and if you write why you feel that, and if these are not concrete facts, then you need to be checking yourself. That go for men and women. Every like if I used to do this, this what helped me to learn and see when I'm tripping. I have feelings because of something that she said. So I was in a relationship, and she say something fly, and I had these feelings about it, and I had learned at this time that Marcus Stewart is gonna go to the moon. So Marcus Stewart needs to chill. So I have these feelings, and I'm burning on the inside, and I need to leave. All right, I go. But then I process that, and then I put my feelings on paper. And the amazing thing about putting my feelings on paper is when you write down what you feel, and then you write down why you feel that, and then you check that, is this a feeling or is this a fact?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff was valid, some of the stuff was not though. And a lot more of the stuff was not when I checked them against facts. And so like for me, that helped me to not overthink. And then by doing that so many times, I started to be able to process my own thoughts. I'm having this feeling, or something she did triggered a feeling. Is this based on facts? And then I can say, okay, yeah, this is the track record. I need to talk about this. Not go
Yeah.
off, not get crazy, not yell, not scream, not cuss and fuss. We need to have a conversation because A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely say that. Like check your feelings against the facts, and check your facts against your feelings, and it's always gonna come to a balance at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say that. But with what you said, that gives me and the listeners insight into what happens in a female psyche, because I can say one thing and it might trigger 13,000 thoughts in your mind that I did not even say.
That you didn't even. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not to y'all's detriment. It's just I'm trying to get us to be able to understand each other, men and women. You get what I'm saying? Like that's really good. Like, my brothers need to hear that. I mean, that's really good. That's
Even
really good.
it's so funny because like I see videos where both men and women, they talk about, oh, men are not that hard to understand, or women are not that hard to understand. But I don't know, the way I kind of look at it is like, yeah, it can, a lot of things can be simple, but we do tend to make things a little bit harder than what it has to be. But then also at the same time, like us as human beings, we are very complex. And so
Yes, that's true.
is we can try and simplify things, but at the same time there are some things that do kind of take a little bit of a process to try and understand. And men and women are just, although we are one and the same in a way, we are very much different. And then not only that, but not every man and woman that you're going to encounter is going to be the same. And I think like for a lot of women, especially for the women that don't necessarily do the work on themselves,
Mhm.
something that I've grown to understand just
I
from
like
my
that you say that. I like that you say that.
own,
From
just
your own.
yeah, just from my own evaluation and just the studying of myself, it's like when we go into new situations, a lot of times we go into those new situations with the lens from the past situation. So you can
Mm,
only so you can
mm.
only see, you can only hear everything that new person says from the past
That
situation.
old lens. That's right.
So that too is another reason why it's so important to take time
Yes.
to be by yourself and to actually reflect on those previous experiences, because you don't want to bring that past baggage. And it's not to say everybody don't have baggage, because everybody is going to have some baggage in
Some
some form
type.
of
Yeah.
way. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like healing is not linear. Like everybody's going to have some form of baggage, but I think what's more important is about how you carry that baggage and how you cope with it, because you can be triggered all day every day, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to respond or react to it the way that you
Right.
used to in the past.
That's right.
But I know for like a lot of women, we tend to do that. We would take previous baggage from the last do, and that's another aspect to overthinking as well. Like you said, like you got to put it down on paper. You got to really think, like, okay, you really have to reflect on it. And this is one of the things that I really like to vocalize a lot in my talking videos, because I am a big reflector, and I'm just
Hmm.
encouraging people, like, you really need to reflect on things, because
Right.
when you don't understand why you react, why you respond in certain way,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
I agree
That's
with that.
that's really a problem, and it's so messed up, because you got people that's in relationships where she getting mad at him because of how he chose to respond and how he chose to react to what she said or what she did, and vice versa. But it's like, but
Right.
nobody understands why they're responding or reacting in such a manner.
You're right. Right. Right.
So you
Right.
really have to take the time to reflect. And it's not to say like, because I know noticed something that you said. It was like, check your facts, check your feelings, check your facts. And it's like all feelings are valid. Like, don't get me wrong. All
That's right.
feelings, it don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's irrational or if it's it doesn't matter. How you feel is how you feel. It's very much valid.
Yeah. That's right.
However, to piggyback off you what you were saying is, just because you feel that way doesn't entirely make it true, because you have to understand that your mind be lying to you. And
That's right.
sometimes feelings come up. Only reason why certain feelings come up is why, because you still carrying on
Hmm.
past stuff. You still
Right.
carrying on past stuff. So somebody can say something or do something to you, you respond, you react to it, and then when you get to thinking, why did I respond right? Oh, because
Right.
it reminded me what Bob Joe did.
Right.
So like that's why it's important. You have to really reflect, and then again, communication comes is very important. Like communication in relationship is very important for me, and I'm not saying that I'm the kind of person that, and I think it's because I've done a lot of work on myself, where
Yeah.
I've I've
That's a good
I've
thing.
worked I'm working my way up. I mean, I've worked my way up, but I'm still a work in progress. Don't get me wrong, but
Right. Gotta throw it in there. Right. Gotta throw it in there.
for the most part, I'm a pretty secure person. However, I am aware of my downside. I'm aware that sometimes I can overthink. So for
Yeah.
me, it's important that I have a partner who can support me emotionally on that level. Like if I start to overthink, I will feel safe to go to my partner and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about this, or I'm feeling like this. Can you help can
Help
you
me
help
process my
can
thoughts.
you help me
Basically.
yeah, is
Yeah.
this legit, or is this like it's important for me to have a partner like that, because if I don't have a supportive partner like that, and a partner who just wants to throw in my face like, man, you
Mm,
overthinking, you overreacting, you over this,
mm,
that's not
mm.
going to work for me. That's not going to work for me, because if I can't come to you and I can't communicate so we can get on a mutual understanding, because I'm big on understanding.
Yeah.
I'm big on understanding. I need to be able to understand, make sure I'm not really tripping, because again, we undermine our intuitions a lot of time. That's why it's important to know what's communicating to you.
Hey, yo, that was good. That was good. We undermine our intuition. I think that's good. I would say for women, and this is speaking to my brothers. My brothers. This is why one of the things that I always say is you I'm gonna try not to go all the way around the mountain, but I want you to understand what I'm saying. So I always encourage my brothers to have a vision, have a goal, have a plan, have a strategy. So that whenever a woman asks you the question, and if you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know, and to say I'm gonna get it figured out. But there are some things about your life that you should already have mapped and planned out. I say that to say when a woman sees that you are able to think and process and plan and strategize, you are subconsciously teaching her to trust you. So
Yeah.
when she comes to you with all of these crazy feelings, which she is, my brothers, being a good husband is to be able to listen and process emotions for your woman. Let me just say that. But when she does come to you with all of this emotion and feeling, and I wanted to slap her, or this is what I did, and you got to be the man to say, baby, now look, I understand why you're feeling like that, but you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have said that. Here's why. Blah blah blah. But the reason why I said that in the beginning is because if you spend time getting a vision for yourself, getting a goal for yourself, my brothers, a plan and a strategy for yourself is going to help you to think critically, strategize. It's going to help you to think factually. Then, when something, it's basically teaching yourself to process through your own emotions because you are going to help your woman process through her emotions. So, when you say that to me, that's the thing that I think about. I think of, yeah, I mean, that's not far fetched when you say that. I think a dude should be able to do that, but um yeah, you just got to know that you can trust him. You can trust that
Yeah.
he's processed it. He's thought about it. He's not going to just give you some spit out answer. He actually thought about it, and if he had thought about it, he's going to say I don't know, but you know, he's going to think about it. In my opinion, I think you teach a woman to trust you based on the way that you handle your shite. You your shite, the way you handle your life, the way you make your decisions. You teach her that she can trust you by doing certain stuff like that. So when you say that, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think I understand that. But my response to that is, a man is going to be able to. That's not hard though. That's not like it's not this great crazy. I don't know. It's not. It's not in the clouds or something. It's simple, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think guys should be able to do that, and I think
Yeah.
women, when you see that you have a good guy, that does think, that does process, that does, yeah, start to trust him with things, and yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Anyway, okay. So look, here's a question that I want to ask. I want to ask
Okay.
this. All right, great conversation, by the way. um, what is your definition of a good man? So, does a good man, does that have a money sign attached to it? Does that have a dollar amount attached to it? Um, does that have muscles attached to it? Does that have what is your definition of a good man? Like, give me the, not the perfect man, but work withable.
Work with
Y'all,
the.
that's the term I used on the last episode. My brothers, go and watch that. Work withable. So, what is your definition of a good man that's work withable? Let us hear that.
You know, our last episode, I think I said something in regards to. I do remember letting you know, like, I don't really know a good definition, but I'm just gonna come up based on what
You
I think.
did.
'Cause I
You
haven't had an
did.
example of an entirely good man, but
You did, because that triggered me when you said that. But go ahead.
but but I do have. I think I have something I can pretty much add
All
on
right,
to what I
let's hear it.
said. So the definition of a good man for me is a man that has, kind of like you said, like a man who has a vision for himself. You know what? Scratch that. A man who has a strong foundation within himself, with that
Mm,
foundation including a vision for himself. Um, Now, I'm not going to say that there's like a specific dollar amount or anything like that. Look, I'm
so
not
money
super.
don't matter. So he can be
I,
broke.
no.
Come on, I gotta ask.
So he has to at least have something going for himself. Okay, I'm not saying he has to be the richest in the world, but he has to have something. Again, he has to have vision. He has
Okay, I get what you're saying.
he
Vision with
he,
his
he,
money too.
he has to have vision, and he just has to have he has to be able to, how can I articulate this? Because something that I had an epiphany about is when we're dealing with a partner, everybody still has like that inner child within them, right? And
True.
so the reason why it's important to be selective about who you choose to partner with, because that person in a way is going to be parenting your inner child and you them.
Oh, 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 oh! Come on, man. Look. You be
So
saying this stuff.
so a good
I got it
man,
right. I got it right.
I mean, I could probably go a whole list on what in my idea would be a good man. But when I say like he has to have like a good foundation, that's vision, but that's also the emotional maturity to be able to
Mm,
handle emotions on both ends, on his end and on my end as well.
mm, mm.
Um and he has to be able to just hold space for another person. I think that's really the biggest, the really the big thing is a person who knows how to hold space for another person.
All right. When you say that, what like break it down in dummy terms? Like I'm dumb right now, so I don't understand what you're saying. So my
Holding
guys that's
space,
watching, we don't get that.
holding space for another person is essentially where you are able to create um like a like a safe environment for that person to legit feel safe
Mm,
emotionally, feel safe
mm,
physically, feel safe mentally. Because if the woman or the man, doesn't really matter, if that person doesn't entirely feel safe, they may be able to feel safe with you physically, but
mm.
emotionally they don't feel safe with you. And
Right, right, right.
the reason why is because maybe in some way that you handle things, maybe the way in which you carry yourself or how you respond or react to things that they say that they do, you have not created a safe space for that person to express themselves
Mm,
emotionally. So
mm-hmm.
it's just like you have to be able to create a safe space for another person. And that really is going to just that really is going to be able to happen when you know how to create a safe space for yourself, where you feel safe within yourself to express your full range of emotions. You know, you got men and women who don't know how to, they hot heads and stuff out here. They be blowing up
Yes.
and they don't know how to create that safe space within themselves. If you feel a strong emotion coming about, you have to learn how to self-soothe.
Yeah.
I work with toddlers. Like I had to teach toddlers this because they you have to teach them how to go through and process their emotion on their own. So if a man
That's right.
can't do that for himself, I can't trust him to have
Mm-hmm.
that same space for me to go to him and be able to process my emotions with him or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's something I had epiphany about that. It's like, wow, that person is parenting your inner child, literally. So for a good man, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to be balanced, baby. He gonna have
Let,
to be
let me say this to all my brothers that are watching. Look, you said like three things that
oh
I'm not gonna go into in this conversation, but we definitely got to do another one. But um, my brothers, notice if you're thinking about marrying her, you are going to have to be more than just her boyfriend or her husband.
yeah,
You are going to have to be a lot of stuff. I learned this from my job. I learned this from my job. Like he gave me capacity, but then he like, I'm gonna give you the capacity, but then I'm gonna also stretch you without being a hole about it. You know. And so I'm not telling you to stretch a woman. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when you said what you said though, Dricka, when you said what you said, the only thing I could think of was space. When I think of space, I think of patience and capacity. So, like
yeah,
a man, you are going to need a lot of patience, and you are going to with like space capacity is grace. You're gonna have to give up grace and patience, like for real. Now, this is not just for that. So I'm gonna say this, and then I got a question to follow up with that. Okay, and we almost done because I see the time, right? um, So she needs your grace, she needs capacity, room, and she needs patience because she's a woman. So you're going to have to be patient with her. That means do not get upset, do not get mad, do not get frustrated. You got to be patient and you got to give her grace. This is the safe space. In your mind, it's a safe space. In a man's mind, She needs grace and patience. You give her capacity, and then you be patient with her as she explores that capacity. Once you hit the boundaries, though, you got to know how to say, "Babe, you tripping? Stop." You got to know how to do that. But that's what I mean when I say that. So, with that said, though, I think that if a man understands that about a woman, so here's the next question, which is the follow-up. What then is a good woman in your definition? What is your definition of a good woman?
My definition, my definition of a good woman is a woman who knows how to she definitely knows how to nurture. And only reason I'm saying that because you have women that don't know how to nurture.
What does that word mean when you say that? Give me your definition of nurture. I mean, you
So,
said it. I just want to.
so nurturing is essentially the act of being able to take care of. But I'm just saying that for right now. I feel like there's more I can say to it. It just ain't coming to me
I
right
get
now.
it because it's a spur of the moment, right?
Yeah, it's a spur of the moment.
I'm throwing. I'm definitely.
I don't have
throwing you
more.
some hints.
I don't have more coming to me. But for right now,
Right.
nurturing is the act of being able to take care of. And I don't know. I feel like that's something that's natural. That I feel like that's something that naturally comes to a woman. But I don't know. Some women just I don't know. That's like a it's an energetic flow that I just feel like maybe some women just don't tap into. I don't know. But a good woman has to be able to nurture herself. A good woman also has to be able to um a good woman is a leader, okay?
Leader. Okay. A
A
good
good
woman
woman
is a leader.
a good woman is a leader
What do you mean when you
because
say that?
she has to be able to take lead of her own life.
Okay.
Some women I
I like
feel
the way you
like
turned it. I like the way you
some
turned it.
some women uh they they think I don't know, I guess they think the status quo is to just solely rely on a man to just do everything for them. And I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm not saying I'm against that, but also just because again I guess I'm just a very independent, very self-sufficient woman. I just think it's important for us women to know how to take lead, because I think some men like that too. Don't get me wrong. I think there's some men who like their women to just rely on them to do everything for them. But for the most part,
I think.
I genuinely think that there's men out there that's like, no, I want my woman to be able to take lead on her life. Like she needs
Yeah.
to be able to, she needs to be able to do things on her own and not always rely on the man to do things. Even though
Mhm.
yes, let your man do things for you, but she needs to be able to again just be a leader for her own life, because especially
Yeah,
if you're
I
a
agree with
single
that.
woman you have to learn how to do that.
That's right.
You have to learn. And I don't know, that's just something that I'm real big on. Like I make sure I let men know that, hey, this ship is rolling over here. Like I'm the captain, I'm everything on this ship. Like don't think that. So to me, a good woman is a woman that knows how to take lead of her life. A good woman is also a woman that is also has the capacity to same concept, create space, hold space for another person. She's also a woman who is very much so, I think I said this on the last episode for the man, but in tune with both feminine and
Feminine and
masculine.
masculine energy.
Yeah, knowing how to direct herself between both energies, knowing when to
Navigate
be
that.
feminine and to be masculine, not always in the masculine energy,
That's what you
or
said there.
not too overly. not too overly. Dang, I feel I can go a full list with that. But for the most part, I don't know.
Go
I would give you the same answers I would give like what's a good man. Like they need to have like a really good foundation set for themselves. And what I mean by a good foundation, I literally mean like you're not thriving off ego. Like your foundation is not rocky. Like your how you're showing up in the world is not based on solely ego. It's not based on uh a
yeah,
false identity. It's not based on like it's true, authentic, it's strong, it's well balanced. Your confidence is authentic confidence.
yeah.
It's not ego based, even though we
It
do need our
sounds
egos, don't get
it
me
sounds
wrong.
like it sounds like you're talking about the difference between ego and confidence, like arrogance and confidence. So
Yeah,
arrogance is an air, confidence is sure. Like arrogance is like
rooted.
right, right. Confidence
You
is just
rooted
like
in yourself.
yes,
Yes.
yes, 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 yes. I get that. I get it. I get it. I do. I get it. I get it. I look. I gotta say, man. I
Once
think.
I can go on and on, I'm over here trying. I'm like, mm,
Yeah, but no. Look, I mean, I asked the question because everybody can say, "Oh, this is what a good man should do. This is what a good man should do." And I'm saying, okay, if you have a good man, what should a good woman do then? I'm gonna ask that question because for me, I hold myself to a certain standard, and that
yeah.
means because I hold myself to a standard, I'm not just trying to, you know, I'm not trying to smash. Once you get to a certain level, bro, you can smash. I mean, look, once you get to a certain level, you can smash, you can hit it, you can. But then you're for the grown ups, for the grown men, we want something more than just this. We want the smash to be good. Now, let me say that the
Don't want to be
smash need to be.
disappointed.
Come on now, but then once we get out the bed, like I want a partner. I'm building things. Like I'm not just here paying bills. I'm building things. Like I'm working towards things. So like if you as a woman is gonna give me this long laundry list of what a good man is, and I'm gonna ask you, so what is a good woman? And sometimes women can't give me anything, um, and I'll be like, no, I mean, I'm not here to criticize or judge, but I think you should be
Yeah.
holding yourself to a certain standard. Because if I say what a good woman is, I'm gonna say what a good woman is. But then, same time, I can say what a good man is, and these things come with demands. And I wanna break us away from the kind of relationships that makes you think that you can just jump into a relationship because you need somebody to be on your side, not realizing that you need to also be a partner to the other person too. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like it's a two-edged sword. So look, I'm not gonna probe you. I'm not gonna probe you. Oh my god. Look, that question was the first question on on my list of questions. I have a lot of questions. But look, we just gonna conclude it this time. That means you gotta come back on another episode. So look, I'm gonna make you commit on live. Everybody that's watching this, they gonna see you
Oh
gotta commit
Lord.
on live. So you gotta come back next month.
Next month, January. Okay.
Gotta come back on one of the episodes on next month. I'm gonna hit you up. So you telling my listeners that you're gonna come back. Is that a yes?
That's a
Ah,
yes.
my nigga. My
That's a
nigga.
yes.
That's good. That's good. All right. So look, give us guys something. Woo, boy, I got so many questions, but look, next episode, I'm gonna go through all these questions. Look, I'm gonna show you. So don't read these; they're gonna pause it.
Yeah,
But
put a little tally mark or something.
these are all the questions that I got. This is the first one. We did number one,
Okay.
and I didn't
Put a
ask those other
put
questions.
a dot or something like okay, I already asked that.
Oh, all right, but so I was just trying to do general conversation, but the next episode, like we going on these right here. But
I
what is
got you.
something that you can leave with my brothers that watch the episode, that can help them either improve their approach to women, their mindset when it comes to women, something give us something brief and brilliant.
What I would say is for the brothers,
Mhm.
Um, it would be really nice. I'm trying to be sweet right now.
Don't be
It,
sweet, just be real.
it would be no, I'm being for real. It would be really good if you guys could be a little bit more intentional in your approach with women. And
Like
what I
that.
mean by being an intentional, I mean by like be serious. Don't just go in approaching a woman thinking it's all cool and game, because it's not cool to play with people's emotions. It's not. So if you're going to approach a woman, let it be because you genuinely want to get to know her, you genuinely like her. You're not just approaching her because, oh, she got a nice body, I just want to hit that, or anything like that. Because
I like that.
karma ain't karma ain't cute, and karma don't play. Karma don't play, and playing with a person's emotions like that is really just not, it's not cool. And vice versa, don't let a woman do that to you either. Like like I feel like my brothers, my guys, you guys also need to be the same respect that you would expect a woman to have for herself. I need you guys to also have that same respect for yourself as well, because you can get
Hmm.
tricked out your draws by a woman just as much as
Come on, bro.
a man can trick a woman out her draws
Come
too.
on, bro. Come on.
So if you're gonna approach a woman, if there's somebody that you've been investigating or whatever the case may be, let it be intentional. Be real with yourself. Okay, be real with yourself, because y'all need to be careful. You're gonna lay down with dogs, you're gonna wake up with fleas.
Oh, come
You
on,
don't
bro.
want
I be saying
that.
that. I be definitely saying
You
that.
don't want that. And also be mindful, like the way that you go about doing things with the woman, the way you go about treating a woman, that also reflects the kind of respect that you have for yourself as well. So just be mindful. Just please be intentional. Let's
I
not
like that.
waste any more time.
I like that. I'm gonna say this to my brothers: practice on your daughters, practice on your mom, practice on that, because you're not trying to hit it at your mom. You're not trying to hit it on your daughters. You're just gonna be a good man to them. Practice on them. Just take them on dates. Just and see what they respond. They will. If you got a sister, if you got a mom, if you got a daughter, practice
Hmm.
dates on your daughter. I guarantee you she gonna humble you, my nigga. But it's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying?
It
It's teaching
is.
you
It
certain
is.
things. But anyway, with that, I got to say this: if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. And I'm trying to build my subscribers up. Look, I'm trying to build a community. Get this, my brother. If you are looking for a community, I got the community for you. I started this men's group. I don't wait till the new year to do the new stuff. It's already going on right now. If you want to be a part of that, I need you to send me the email. Marcus Stewart at tgmchurch.org. Marcus Stewart dot Marcus Stewart at tgmchurch.org. If you are looking for a community of brothers, got the community for you. I help you grow. I help you progress. I help you take yourself to the next level. I do believe in my job. And look, man, I mean, yeah, if that's you, hit me up, my brother. I'm gonna leave that email in the description box. So I want to say thank you, Dricka, for coming on another episode. You committed to the next episode, so you're gonna be
I
back next month,
did.
and we actually gonna go through these questions for my brothers. But guys, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. I enjoyed this episode. You stay on once I hit this end button. You guys check me out next week at 12. I got a great episode for you, my brothers. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you again.